All right, the number one question everyone has when it comes to golf shafts. Am I in the right flex? Am I playing the right flex? Am I picking out the right flex for my new clubs? That is always the question. It seems like everyone is right in between two flexes always. It's either, am I regular, am I stiff or extra stiff? Where do I fall? So in this video, I'm going to show you the simplest, the easiest, most straightforward way to figure out what shaft flex is going to work best for your game. Let's go. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So shaft flex, that is the question that everyone has. Am I in the right flex? Should I be playing a stiffer? Should I be playing a softer shaft? That's always the question. So I'm going to show you the simplest way. This is all you need to worry about when figuring out what shaft flex is right for you. Hey, and remember, if you enjoy this video, make sure you go down below, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon. And if you've got an idea for a video, if there is a test that you'd like me to do on the channel, let me know down in the comments and we might just do it. Now, I know everyone is always most concerned with shaft flex, but I'm just going to say, when it comes to picking out golf shafts, you've got two other criteria, two other measurements that I would put well above shaft flex, and those are weight and profile. The most important thing when picking out a golf shaft is figuring out what weight is going to work best for your swing. If we draw a pyramid of golf shaft specs, the weight is the base of that pyramid, the biggest, most substantial part. So figuring out the right weight for your golf shafts is going to be the most crucial element. Behind that, then we want to talk about profile, or how that shaft feels when it's bending, because different golfers are going to like, or they're going to respond differently to different profiles. If a shaft feels like it has some give in it on your downswing versus a shaft that just feels very static or doesn't feel like it bends very much in your downswing, different golfers are going to prefer one or the other. So figuring out both the weight and figuring out the profile are definitely going to be the top two things that I want dialed in before we get to flex. Now, once we get to flex, again, inevitably, it seems like everyone is always right on that dividing line between two flexes. Am I regular or stiff or whatever? So here is the easiest way to answer that question, the easiest way to figure it out, because you may have already done a fitting, you may have tried different flexes and still might not have a good answer in your head as to what flex is best for you, or maybe you're just looking at your golf bag and thinking, are these shafts the right flex? So here is the question you need to answer. Are you trying to keep your golf ball from going left, or are you trying to keep your golf ball from going right? That is the question that you have to answer, and that will give you the right shaft flex for your game. If you are trying to keep the ball from fading, if you are trying to not slice the ball, you will always want to go with the more flexible option. And likewise, if you are trying to keep the ball from drawing, if you are trying to keep from hooking the ball, then you want to always go with the stiffer shaft option. And now I know there are always going to be some exceptions, but if you are on the fence, if you are deciding between two flexes, this is, in my opinion, the best way to decide on the softer shaft versus the stiffer shaft. Let me show you now what happens if we move between two different flexes. All right, I'm going to start off here with a stiff Dynamic Gold S300 shaft in a 7-iron. We're going to hit a few balls. Just kind of keep track of where the ball's going and how it is curving. A little heavy. All right, now I'm switching into Dynamic Gold X100. We're gonna do the same thing, hit a few more balls, same head, same everything else, just a little bit stiffer shaft. All right, let's take a look at all the numbers and see what the differences were between the stiff and the extra stiff. What I really want you to pay attention to here is look how close all of these numbers are between the two different setups. Ball speed, very similar, a little bit faster with the extra stiff, but probably just because I'm getting more loosened up. Launch angle, very, very close. Spin, very, very close. Carry yardage, identical. Total yardage, basically the same. The club data, you can see the efficiency was exactly the same at 1.33. Again, the club head speed just a touch faster with the extra stiff. If we look at the other numbers here, looking at the peak height, very close. Looking at the descent angle, again, very close between the two. You notice here that the extra stiff is just a little bit higher and a little bit steeper descent angle, but guess what? That is because it went further to the right. So when we look at all these shots side by side, you can see the extra stiff went further to the right. Now, last thing, I'm just gonna pull out the first shot from each of the two setups because specifically with the extra stiff, I lost it a little bit further right, probably because it was the first swing going from stiff to extra stiff. So once we pull out the first on both of those, you can see an even cleaner example of exactly what we're talking about here. Ball speed within 1 mile an hour, launch angle under 1 degree, spin about 300 rotations between the two, carry yardage, total yardage, all basically identical. And again, checking the efficiency, checking the club head speed, step for step in both cases. So as you can see, all the numbers were basically the same. The only ones that changed a little bit between the stiff and the extra stiff were the spin, the peak height, and the descent angle. And again, that's really because the extra stiff went further to the right, the face was a little more open, had a little bit more loft. So of course, all those numbers are going to be a little higher versus the stiff, where the face was a little bit more closed and all those numbers were a little lower. But the speed, the efficiency, all that other data was basically the same. So really the only determining factor between these two shafts is, do I want to hit it further to the left with the stiff or keep it further to the right with the extra stiff? So if you're debating between two flexes, all you have to do is answer that one simple question. Are you trying to keep the ball from slicing or fading, or are you trying to keep the ball from drawing or hooking? If you want to keep it from slicing or fading, you want to go with the more flexible option. And if you're trying to keep the ball from drawing or hooking, you want to go with the stiffer option. It's as simple as that. Hey, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go down below, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I will see you on the next one.